Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Hey, the classic weekend is officially over. I know people are still relaxing, resting up, trying to get your vitamins in because based on what I saw on Facebook, you guys were getting down this weekend. I mean, partying, looking good, nice fashion, eating good. You guys really showed out this weekend. And from what I was told, this was probably one of the funnest, if that's a word, weekends of the classic thus far. Want to give a big congratulations to Alabama State University. Congratulations, go Hornets, for your win this weekend. And hey, there's always next year, Alabama A&M. So guys, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Kudos, kudos, kudos. And also, as we are wrapping up Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I want to give a big shout out to all of my survivors out there, guys. You are really doing your thing, and I will continue to pray and intercede on your behalf as you continue this journey of surviving. And those of you who are in the middle of this fight, continue to hang on, continue to push through, because God has a purpose and a plan for you. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Happy about that, guys. Listen, we have a great show here tonight. It's a good show tonight. But before we introduce our guest tonight, and this is his first time inside the ladies' room, I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl, my classmate from Miles College, Go Bears, and the executive director of the Ladies Room Talk Show, Allison Sanders with New Year Productions, LLC. We had an awesome time last week, guys. We had a time that I like to call Chick Chat, the Chick Chat edition. And it's just girlfriends just kind of hanging out, talking, sharing things about life. If you missed that on last week, I would encourage you to go out to that talk show and check it out. We just had a good time. She actually was in a restaurant in Hueytown, Alabama, eating while she was on the show. So I will give a big kudos to Uncle Sam, which is the name of the restaurant. For all of your barbecue needs, go to Uncle Sam in Hueytown, Alabama. We want to thank them so much for allowing us to do our show in the restaurant as they were cleaning up on last Monday. They eventually kicked her out, but hey, we finished the show up before that happened. But big kudos to Uncle Sam for all of your barbecue, potato salad, smoked wings, to smoked turkey, barbecue chicken, brisket, you name it, they have it. So go out there, guys, and check them out. Tonight, I want you to go ahead and share this live broadcast to all of your network, your friends. Get on there, catch this link, put it out there, and text people. Let them know what's going on, because this show is going to be hot. Yeah, so I want to bring into the ladies' room for the first time. I got a drum roll. Oh, yeah. We got Rafael. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm great. I'm actually very happy to be here, and you're doing a really good job. I saw in your intro, you've been doing this for a long time, so with all the practice, it shows.
Yeah,
Great.
I've been at it for a minute, but I've had a good ride with it and met some really amazing people like yourself. So I'm going to keep riding it out until God says do something else. So
Hey, I know that's right.
yes. So Rafael, you come to us from Atlanta, Georgia, and you own We Story Agency. So what I want you to do is tell the listening audience a little bit about We Story, and then tell us your background and what you do at We Story Agency.
Yes. All right. So We Story used to be just a production company, and I would kind of get work as a production company as an independent contractor, and I didn't like the type of work I was getting, and agencies was hiring me to make their companies look even better and greater and grander, and they were getting the credit for it because I was doing the work. So I wanted to not necessarily compete with them, but I wanted to get the same jobs that they got, the same contracts. And so we expanded it and make sure that we rebranded ourselves. And when you position yourself, you definitely get what you are looking for in the world. You put out the energy, you get the energy back. But yes, we do all types of productions, from music videos, commercials, interviews, podcasts, We're actually planning a documentary right now. YouTube videos is one of the things I like to focus more so on too, because that's where everything is going. And it's actually a lot of eyes and money in that industry. So I like to focus on that as well. But that's what I pretty much do with We Story Agency, and we're also trying to impact Atlanta specifically to try to make better content, because when you see these public service videos, or if you watch television like the local channels, you see a lot of the commercials and stuff on there. It still feels very outdated and old, and so our target audience is to try to get those contracts as well, is to just make it look a little bit like we're in 2023, and not like we're.
Yes. Yeah. And I want them to know what video because there's some videos out there that I didn't know you did. And these videos have gone viral. They're huge. You've done videos for celebrity artists that you've done. And so I want people to know who these people are because they're seeing the work. They just don't know the man behind the lens.
Right. I actually, it's very hard for me, and I'm still learning on how to talk about my accomplishments in such a way, because I came from a background of not doing that. You're not supposed to. But yeah, okay, I can name drop. So I recently, in 2020, 2021, during those 2 years, I worked with Tiana Taylor for about 12 to 14 projects. And so that ranged from her own music videos to contracts she got with Old Spice, and to other contracts she got with other artists, her being a director. So with her, of course, I worked with Queen Naija, which is probably, in my opinion, not my opinion, I think all of my work, one of her videos has the most views. I think it's like 60 million views for Pack Light. Queen Naija, and then of course I did another Queen Naija, which got the second most. So she is obviously popular. Which was called I can't remember, but it's featuring Lil Durk and Lie to Me. That's the name of it. So yeah, I don't know what you've seen, but yeah, I worked with a lot of people over the years. Yeah,
there was this video where I think it was very colorful. And they had a lot of movement, a lot of choreography in it. And I can't remember if they had on suits or what that video was.
Oh, yes. That was Tiana Taylor, I think. Bear With Me. And
Okay.
yeah, she reenacted like a taste of Michael Jackson dancing, and all her dancers, they all had different color suits that Michael Jackson was wearing. And she was actually pregnant at the time, so we had to come up with a way to shoot it, and it actually came out really dope. If you look at the video, it's actually the way you see the way they're moving, like it's very poppy and very like stiff, is because we in production we slowed the song down half speed, and because she couldn't perform it as fast as and so we performed it slow, and then we also shot it at a high speed, and so we slowed it. In post-production, we sped it up, and and so to the song, so it was double the speed, and so it just looked very unique, and the editor edited it, and yeah, it came out really dope. And then of course the Jabberwockies, they're a dance group who was on a dance show. They recreated it and did it themselves, so it went viral and went crazy, and yeah, I got a lot of attention from that.
Yeah, I mean, it was really smooth, and it's one thing when you're doing videography like that. People think they can just grab a camera and then just shoot it, and that because you make it look so easy. You make the end result look so easy. It's so seamless and so easy that anybody can think they can do it until you get in there. Because not only do you have to know what you're looking for, you have to have the proper lighting, and you actually have to have people on set who focus on lighting. And so I've been on set with you before, so I know how you work. I know how you operate, and you have a team of people who come in and do what they do. So I'm not surprised that you are what I call the celebrity's choice. They bring somebody like yourself in who has a spirit of excellence and a spirit of humility. And so, we've worked, and we kind of talked about this off air, but, in the line of work that I do, and Rafael and I do similar to the same thing, but, you run into personalities sometimes that may not be quite as favorable as you would like them to be. How did I do with that?
How do you deal with that?
How did I do with that in how I explained it? Did I explain it fairly
Oh yeah,
decent?
yeah, no, definitely, yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Didn't want to throw any shade there, but yes. Now the question is, how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, it depends on the person as well. Obviously, there's dynamics on set where certain people have this perspective of themselves. So you kind of have to understand how they view themselves in order
Right,
for you to treat them how they view themselves, and you can get past a lot of that, a lot of the resistance on set that a lot of, and in my past that was, it was harder to do, but now it's easier because once you kind of dive deep into that person, you're able to get them to do things that they normally would try to give pushback on. And so,
right,
and it depends on the person, of course. Like I'm not going to say a name, but recently I just shot with um, an artist's daughter, and the artist was there too. So even though the artist wasn't on camera or it wasn't about them, um, we kind of had to move in a way that they wanted, right?
right.
Um, but once I was able to talk to them and we worked everything out on set, they kind of like said, "Oh well, you know what? I don't have to leave. I don't have to leave now. Y'all finish what you guys doing. You need the shot. Let's." So
Right.
that's how you work that to get what you need on the production, because at the end of the day, you want to have a finished product no matter what. That's my main focus, and I think that's also why I get chosen a lot to work with a lot of different people, is because there's a lot of people that do what I do. But what I've noticed is that I I tend to, my priorities are different than other cinematographers. So when I do a lot of different roles on set, but a lot of these opportunities came from me being a cinematographer, which is I'm in charge of the lighting and, well, pretty much overall the look of the film or the project. And the look requires the camera department and the lighting and G&E department. So that I'm like the supervisor of those two departments on bigger sets. And a lot of
Mhm.
times I focus on the thing that the producer and the director focus on. I don't
Mm,
focus like, for example, the producer care about how long this is going to take,
right.
and the director cares about getting the shot or getting whatever they care about, whether it's the talent. Like a lot of them are, they focus on the talent and want to see the performance, but then some wants to get, hey, I just need a specific like right there, and so if they give them what they want, and then you execute the project. But a lot of cinematographers that I've worked with in the past, me as a director and they were the cinematographer, they tend to, it's almost like an ego of wanting to do great work as the main priority. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have 30 minutes, but you are prioritizing the 2 hours that it would take to do the job. And that's not good,
Right,
because
right.
the product is execution.
Right. But is what I find to be interesting, and in working with you, and I can't, look, you or I both can't even talk about what I was on set with you about yet. But I'm that mum's the word on it. But I know that I spent 3 days with the cast of people and you guys, and you being the lead on that. And what I did see, Raphael, is that you were able to gain the trust of the director of that movie.
Mhm.
And to me, when it's kind of like having your own baby, and sometimes when you have to make changes, it's like, yeah, your baby's cute, but if you just take that ear, put it over there, and if you tweak that nose a little bit, it'll be so cute. How do you tell a mom that? How do you tell a mom
Right,
that?
right, right.
So, but you are able to really gain the trust of the director, which means that, and I literally saw that person put the trust, or as funeral homes say, entrust their loved one into your hands. So, that person was able to take that film and take the way that person saw it, put it in your hands and trust to be able to look through your lens and still be able to get what they originally wanted. And so I was able to actually see that happen in the 3 or 4 days that you guys were here. And so I think with you getting the job done, you having that wherewithal to care about the people through that process, why is that so important to you, Rafael, especially for those who may listen to this live now or go back, who are wanting to do something that, younger people who are wanting to get into the industry, getting the job done is important, but I see how you carefully care for your client that you're working for and the actors who are on set. Why is that important to you?
Great question. So I think it all stems down to the development of myself, or the self-realization of myself. Once I realized, and it took a while, from the time I was born to, let's say, like 25, 26, you realize that there are certain things that irks you or may make you feel uneasy, or may, it's like a thought process that you think about too long. And I realized that I didn't like that for myself. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say if I'm coming to meet with you, and I know that I'm going to be there at 7 o'clock, I'll give you a call that I'm about to leave the house, and I'll give you a call or a text that, I'm 10 minutes away. The reason why I do that versus some people who just randomly just show up, is because if I was the one waiting, then I would want to know how far you are.
Right.
So with that being said, it's like, do unto others as you want done unto you, is that when I'm on set, I give those things because I know that they would make me feel uneasy if I didn't. So that it's as simple as that, really. And I learned to care about myself, my own sanity. And then in turn, I realized that everyone have these type of issues or things that they need to be catered to. Yeah. So it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. So is what I hear you saying is that treat people the way you would want to be treated, even
Correct.
though, you still have to get a job done, but you still have to take the time to care for people. And what I realize in caring for people, Rafael, you get repeat customers. As a business owner, it's good to have new business. It's great to have it, but it's so important to have referrals. It's so important to have repeat customers,
Right.
because repeat customers keep you in business, and you are able to really give them the service that they need, but they refer people. So I'm sure the director that we're working with, I'm sure you are either referred to her by somebody else who knows your work. And so that's because whatever you did with that client, they felt comfortable and confident enough to say, hey, this person is doing this. You need Rafael to come, bring his team, get him here from Atlanta, let him come in here and do what they do.
Yeah, that's pretty much my line of work. That's how I feed myself, is through word of mouth and through creating that reputation, because you could easily lose everything by doing the wrong things, and it's really about caring for people at the end of the day. Yeah.
So Rafael, because how long have you been at doing this?
Well, all right, so this that we're referring to, I'm imagining, is just a camera in my hand, or are you saying the love for production?
I'm probably just the whole thing, being in the industry of,
Okay.
because I think you said you started off with production, the getting behind the lens. How long have you just been in this industry as a whole?
Probably 20 years, 20 plus. But as far as my first official job in the industry, I was 18 years old, and I got a job with American Idol as a production assistant. And
oh my gosh!
that was in 2007. Yes, 2007. It was that was my first. And once you get that on your resume, you kind of get all the work, and so it just kind of so at an early age, at 18, I started getting, you know, some decent work in the industry, and I would take them. And this is the thing, I think almost every threshold I've had to go through to get to the next level, it had gotten to a point where I had to be available when I wasn't available. That
Gotcha.
was that's the theme of my growth, is when people needed me and I kind of showed up and showed out, and then that was like, whoa. And then now, you know, it just goes to the every time I did that, it was just brought me higher. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Oh my
But
goodness.
to be a little bit more, you know, I would say origin related. I've always wanted to act when I was a kid. I looked at the Lizzie McGuire show, I don't know, on Disney Channel, and I
Mhm.
always wanted to be. I was like, and Boy Meets World, I wanted to be on those shows as an
Right.
actor. And then when I actually got a job as an actor, because my dad put me in acting class, my mom would take me, and when I used to get the jobs, the directors were telling me what they wanted me to do, and I was like, but I'm the actor, you know. I want to do what I want to do. And then that's when I realized that the director is what I wanted to do. I still could act, but I wanted to kind of control the because I saw a certain vision, I saw it a certain way. And then my dad bought me my first camera when I was 11 years old, and from then
Mhm.
on, just shooting.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
when you said acting, is so funny because Tara Shay just popped in. Hello, Tara Shay. Hope you're doing well out there. Tara Shay is an actress, and she and I have been on the stage of a couple of stage plays. We
Mm,
actually, the last one we did was the 12 Angry Jurors. And I think she was juror number, were you juror number 3, Tara Shay? I know I was juror number 7. And she did an amazing job with that. Raphael, can you still hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. I cannot see your image though, your picture
Okay.
anymore.
All right. Hold on. Let me. I'll get that situated. Let me.
Okay. Yes, but she is an amazing actress. And she's really, really good. Josh Pendleton, hello. How are you, sir? Glad that you're here. All right. So we're waiting for Raphael, the man behind the lens with an icon as a cartoon there. I don't see his face yet.
Yeah, I'm just I think I'm trying this new system to make my image look good. That's why I didn't use the uh let me
Okay.
see. Make sure we up. I
So
really don't
yes, so
know.
guys, while he's doing that, we can still kind of talk. We just can't see him right now. But you know, when you said something about thank you, Tara Shay, and when you said something about working with American Idol, you know, it kind of reminds me about people who work at Chick-fil-A. Once you work at Chick-fil-A and you get that on your resume, you can pretty much work anywhere, and people will value the training that you've received. And we're gonna wait for him to come back, guys. He's still trying to get connected. So once I see him come back into the live stream, we can get him connected again. But yeah, so when you work at places like Chick-fil-A or some of these other places, it looks really good on your resume. My sons, Matthew and EJ, both worked at Chick-fil-A. And so every job they applied for from that point on, they were able to get a job with no problem. I mean, no problem. I don't think they were ever denied a job by having that on their resume. So kind of rule of thumb, you may want to kind of have something like that to kind of help you as you're going along, especially young people who are looking to have summer jobs or to get jobs out there. They can definitely go to places like Chick-fil-A and work there, and it will just boost their resume to no ends. Let me tell you, it's hard work, but in the end, it helped. It could definitely help both of my boys with helping them get jobs at working with Chick-fil-A. All right, he's back, y'all.
I'm back. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're just kind of talking about the industry and the things that you did working to kind of get you to where you are today. So, Raphael, what's next for you in the next 5 or 10 years? You know, what's next for Raphael?
Wow, great question. I actually I'm on a journey to expand my one-time grip and lighting company. So imagine production companies or agencies being a uh, a person trying to dig for gold. That's what a production company. And One Time Grip and Lighting sells the shovel. So and so we focus on the lighting gear and the grip gear for any production that needs us. And it is doing really well right now. And the way we're planning to expand that is to, right now we're working on a website that is interactive for renting. It's where it's just ease of renting. You go to the website, you choose what you want, and you check out, and it'll be available for you to pick up. The actual Grip and Lighting van would be a place where you could type in a code and you have access to the van. You get in the van and you take it to your production, or we can drop it off to set. So and so that is going to be evolving into an app or a service as a software as a service. So that's one of the main things we're trying to do. We're trying to expand that, and we see that being something major, because right now a lot of productions, whether it's major productions, because we've gotten gigs with major productions, and with independent people who's just putting on their own projects, or small businesses who's trying to grow their company by having an online presence. We are doing pretty well with that, and we just want to be a one-stop shop to where it's just, in today's time, you don't need a lot to do a lot, especially with the technology that we have. So yeah, that's one of the main things that I'm focusing on. And I partner with a friend of mine, Justin White, who is the co-owner of the company with me. So check out One Time Grip and Lighting for all your production needs.
Okay. Like, was he with us on set?
Yes, actually he was. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, you met him, and a great dude. And that we also, just to throw this out there, because one of the things that I'm also focusing on for the next 5 or 10 years is my YouTube channel. I have two, actually I have three, but two that I'm actively working on. And one focuses on self-realization and self-development. And I realize that there's a lot of needs, and different communities need different things. And the community that I would say that I'm in is in dire need of learning more about how to deal with the mind and how to deal with their finances, so I'm that's what I'm focusing on as well, and I'm diving really deep into that. So and of course also I have a series called Cherie and Her Magical Journey of Discovery. So it's a book, a children's book series.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I would love to read that book.
Oh yeah, I got you one. I'll bring it when we see each other again.
Okay. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Dope.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, a children's book. Is that your first one?
It is my first children's book. And it is so Cherie and Her Magical Journey of Discovery is actually the series title, and the first book is called Oneness. So it's it's a little girl who learns about the connection between everything, and she learns it in a very like rudimentary way. And and so that's, so far so good. We've sold about 200 copies, just off the basis of my social media and just me sharing it. But so it's a great experience. I think people are receiving it well, and it's not just for kids. I think my older sister, she actually read it and she was like, wow, I actually learned something from it. So I get a lot of positive reviews from that. Yeah. And it makes me feel whole.
Yeah. Well, the thing about women is that we all have this little girl in us. And actually, Allison and I talked about that on the last episode in the ladies' room. But we all have this little girl in us that need to be spoken to, that needs to have an opportunity to come out and play and feel safe in doing that. And so I'm sure that when your sister read the book, it was the little girl in her that read that book. And so that girl always exists and always seeks to learn and be adventurous and have fun and just love to be loved and love to love. So you are definitely correct. You're going to be talking to little girls, but you're going to also talk to us women who dare to embrace the little girl in us. That book will speak to us as well. So it's definitely a twofold. Wow. I'm looking forward to reading it. And then I got this. Someone said this. Who is that?
Hey, Allison.
So bring 2 books when you come.
I got you.
Nice. And Tara Shea, what's your website?
Oh, okay, yes.
More information about what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I have a website for my We Story agency, so it's WeStoryATL.com. But as far as everything else I'm doing, we're actually working on the One Ton Grip and Lighting website, and you could pretty much find me and most of my work where I'm usually active. Like I'm mostly present in my reality, like I'm here.
Right.
But whenever I dive into not being present, it's Instagram. And really Instagram stories is where I just kind of like post stuff to let people know what I'm doing. Like right now I'm
Right.
doing a carnivore diet. And so, it's just stuff I'm doing.
What? Wait a minute now. Before we get off, because I promised that I will let you out in 30 minutes, but you said carnivore diet, so I need
Yeah.
to ask about that before we go. So, what's that all about?
So first of all, I want to just give you so I had gut issues in 2016, 2017 from, in my opinion, probably, well, my diet and the stress levels that I was under. And I went through everything. I did a water fast for 3 days where I drank nothing but
Okay,
water.
let me go back 1 second,
Yeah.
Raphael.
Yeah.
How do you know if it's not being too personal?
No, of course.
Because there may
I'm
be
talking about anything.
people that may have gut issues but don't know
Right.
they have gut issues. So,
Right.
how did
Right.
you know that you had gut issues, or what were some of the signs that made you say, "Okay, I need
Mm.
to get checked out"?
Well, all right. So in the beginning, it was just, you know, IBS, where, bowel movements was a little off, and my gut would not stop, like, telling me that it wasn't digesting the food. Like it was cramping and doing a lot
Hmm,
of just like
okay.
gas, and cramping really was the bad thing. And then it got really bad to where every time I ate anything, it was a sharp pain in a specific spot in my stomach that was really
Mhm,
bad, and I didn't know what was going on. So I went
mhm,
to the doctor, and then the doctor told me that gastritis, IBS, and I was like pre-colitis. It's like if I don't change something, and they was trying to help me, but their solutions was drugs and all that stuff, and it actually did not help. I just had to really stop eating anything. I said I'm not going to eat anything for
mhm,
3 days. Did the water fast. The pain instantly stopped, and then when I started to reintroduce foods, I tested one food at a time. Like, I ate an apple and nothing happened. I felt like I was cured. But then I turned around and ate like a sandwich with bread in it, and come to find out, the pain came right back instantly. So
mhm,
I started doing research on gluten and all that stuff, and realized that, so anything that has wheat in it, I don't eat. I haven't eaten it since 2017. And
mhm.
then once you realize that, okay, bread is the issue, let me just keep eating everything else then. So I ate nachos with cheese, and that literally, like, had me raw. but but yeah,
Wow.
so I realized that, oh wow, so cheese or dairy don't do well with me either. So I stopped eating
Mhm.
that. And over time I started doing, like, veganism. I was doing
Right.
veganism, vegetarianism. I did paleo diet. I did low carb diet, keto diet, all those diets, and they all worked, but they weren't sustainable. They weren't. They
Right.
also made me feel weak, and my body. I saw my body changing in a negative way. It started changing in a positive way first, but then it kept going, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So so now I'm on a journey of getting to know myself more by figuring out what my body likes. And so I said, you know what, I did a lot of research. I was watching a lot of documentaries about, even now to this day, there's tribes in Africa and on other islands that only eat meat, not on purpose, but that's all they have. And that's what they've been doing for a long time, and it works, right? And so I just been doing a lot of research, and so the last 2 weeks, I've been doing the carnivore diet, and I thought the first day I would be throwing up, just everything. I thought it would be a very bad idea, but I
Right.
did it to see what would happen, and actually, none of that. My body feels satiated, even when after I eat. It's almost like my body, it doesn't want other food because I'm full, but it doesn't want other food because it's like my body has told me that is not what that's not food. So now when I
Right.
look at people pulling stuff out of packages and such, I can instantly, it's almost like my mind is like, whoa, that's not food, And so yeah, I've been eating raw liver, raw beef liver. Um That's the response I get. That's the response. And it's all on my my
Woo!
Instagram account. I save the videos on my
Oh, I'm going to
highlights.
that Instagram account
Yeah, it is.
tonight.
It is crazy. And I actually got my my friend Justin into it too, because we was went up the mountain the other day, and I had say, you know what, I'm about to eat some raw liver. You want to try it? And he tried it on camera as well. And it's not actually that bad, to be honest. You know, when you eat liver, like eating liver in itself, I guess people don't really like to eat liver, even if it's cooked. But it tastes like liver, just slimy, like fat. But
See that it will be. I think for me, because immediately when you said that, I didn't think of it that by it being raw did not make me do what Allison has on here. But it's more of the consistency for
Mhm.
certain things
Mm.
that it's a consistency thing with me. I couldn't get past that. It wouldn't even be because it's raw. It's just the because I'll do sushi and stuff, but the
Mm.
consistency, I don't think I could make it. I couldn't swallow it.
That you know what, that I think is the main issue with or the main block of everyone, because I like every time I present this to anyone, they want their food to taste good,
Right,
and they want the texture to be pleasing, whether it be a combination of soft and crunchy, or you
right.
know, like, or crusty, or whatever it is. And so I get that. But I also realize that um the breakthrough is realizing that the blockage, the thing that's holding you back, is the thing that is hindering you. So it's almost like, oh, if it's holding me back, what is holding me back? What is specifically holding me back? Oh, that means I have to do it because of that reason. And so me, I was held back because I didn't want to eat raw liver.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? That means I have to eat raw liver, and I'm not going to eat it with salt. I'm not going to eat it with any seasoning or anything. I'm just going to cut it raw, and I'm going to eat it. And now my mind, it's almost like a self development thing. Now I've broken past that. Not only I've broken past that with expansion within myself, but now I have the experience to carry along with me on my journey for the rest of my life. So if anyone else have any information about raw liver in the future, I'm able to contribute to the conversation. I'm able
Right,
to
right.
not feel scared or fearful about what could happen. You know, and so that's my goal in life, is to just expand myself as much as possible. I have no other goals other than that.
So when you say, because I'm still stuck on the raw liver. So so when you say raw liver, is it like chicken livers or beef
Oh,
livers or you know?
I'm glad you asked that question. I wouldn't recommend eating anything raw on a chicken. I also, based on this carnivore diet that I've been doing, I realized that I don't have the same satiation on chicken as I do with animals that feed on grass. So
Okay,
lamb, sheep, goat, cow, in that area, that department, that family. Beef liver, grass fed, is what I ate and what I eat, and beef is what I eat all
okay.
day, every day. I do eat eggs, and I eat sardines, but pretty much my diet consists of sardines, eggs, beef, and it really does. I feel great. I haven't taken any supplements or anything yet, because my goal is to kind of like see how far I could go, and then go to the doctor to get my new blood work checked,
Yes,
and then see
yes.
the difference, be able to compare and contrast to
Okay.
see where, where
Now
I'm at.
we may have to bring you back on the show
Oh,
after you
okay.
get your results.
Oh,
I mean,
nice, nice.
I am really super intrigued by this because I'm thinking, okay, so when you brought up, you have this food plate, and you're supposed to have all these things off that food
Right,
plate in your
right.
body, and some people have what they call meat sweats because they eat so much meat they start sweating. So
Mm.
some people I've seen that personally happen. I've seen it, and I've never had it, but I've seen it with other people. So you don't eat fruit, no fresh vegetables, everything meat.
Well, so all right, so right now I do eat. All right, so when you're on a carnivore diet, the goal is to eat meat, but also eat fat. And so a ribeye steak is both. So you can just have a ribeye steak and
Right.
eat the fat, eat the meat, and you're good. But a lot of the lean meats, I add an avocado, which is a fruit. And so
Yeah.
I eat the avocado with to add more fat into my meal. And I've been testing raw dairy. So when I say that, it's different from like saying dairy that is cooked. No, I'm talking about before it even pasteurized. Like it's raw cheese. So I've been eating raw cheese, not heating it up. You can't eat mac and cheese. No, you can't do any of that. Can't put it on the stove. Just eating it raw, and it actually has all the enzymes and the in my opinion, probiotics, just the good bacteria for you to be able to digest that food. I haven't had any kind of lactose intolerance response on raw dairy. It's
Hmm.
actually pretty good. And so it's a fat choice. So I eat the dairy, I eat cheese with my meat too, as well. And then, so it works well together. So it's still
Now,
go ahead.
where do you get this raw cheese from?
And that is very hard to find. It was one day where I went to 5 different grocery stores trying to look for it, and Whole Foods or Sprouts did not have it. I had to go to Trader Joe's, believe it or not. They
Okay.
actually had it's one brand, but they had 2 types, and so I've tried both of the types, and yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking for a raw milk as well, but that is harder to find because actually, I think the FDA, one of FCC, FDA, I think it's FDA, made it illegal for us to sell raw dairy as food. It's not like for human consumption, just because, since we're in a capitalist world, if a company sell raw dairy as food and then someone buys it and gets sick, they could sue the company and then, all that stuff. So they could sell it now to bypass that. The company can sell it, but they don't call it food. And so if you buy it, why you eat it?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Huh. Yeah, we're gonna have to track your story and
dope,
track
dope.
your journey. So once you go back to the doctor, take your test, because it's gonna take about 6 days or so to get the results back.
Hmm.
I would love to bring you back on and let's do an update on your results. I really want to
Dope.
follow that and see where that takes you. I'm excited about it. I think it's really
Thank
cool
you.
uh,
I
to
appreciate
to
you.
to be able to do changes like that. I made a drastic change like that 20 years ago. Haven't had pork in 20 years, and I haven't had pork in 21 years and beef in 20 years. And
Oh
so
wow.
that's just those two meats I have not done in 20 years. So
Wow.
but I'm looking to do something else drastic. Now it won't be eating raw liver. I'm gonna let you know that. I can't do it.
So
But
are you telling me if I bring raw liver, you wouldn't try it?
no, now I would get my camera out. I'll be getting some content, but I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I can't. No, no, no.
Well,
I
let
don't.
me know what you decide to do.
It depends. Yeah, I may. It depends on where I
Oh,
am in my
okay.
head.
All right.
Yeah,
All
it'll
right.
be
Cool.
so small to where,
That you wouldn't be able to taste it.
God, look, Rafael, I have enjoyed tonight, and thank you so much for taking out time. I know you have another project or two that you're working on tonight, so don't want to keep you from that. But before we leave tonight, I would love for you to share with the listening audience maybe something that could encourage someone who maybe wants to get into this field, or some young people who are considering it, thinking about it. What are some things that you can do just to encourage them to get out there and maybe try, or what type of motivation do you have for them tonight? I'm going to bring you full screen, and then I'll come back in and join you.
Awesome. Okay. Now, as far as motivating you, hopefully this motivates you. Whoever's watching this, I'm going to directly talk to you. Um, the secret that I would say that would help you expand in this industry and pretty much anything you do is hard work. It's just hard work. And what I mean by that is I have a friend who I went to college with who studied the exact same thing I studied. And he actually asked me, Rafael, how do you know so much about video and making films and all of this whole industry? How do you know so much? We went to the same school, we did the same thing. And my response at the time was, and this was probably 15 years ago, 10 years ago, um, I was 22 years old. I'm 35 now. Is I said that whenever I'm leaving school, I go home and I start school. I literally sat there and I worked hard all day, 10 hours a day, putting my energy into what I wanted out of life. And I feel like there is no shortcuts, no other solution for getting where you want to be in life. Is hard work. And so yeah, dive deep into what you love to do, whether it's film and video, or even if it's, you know, engineering or computer science, whatever it is, dive deep, put more energy into it, because Kobe Bryant, there's stories about Kobe Bryant that he was there before people went to practice and was there after they went to practice. And there's no other solution than hard work.
I love it. Hard work, stick to it. Sometimes people try to find the easy way out and
Mhm.
try to microwave everything. Everything is not microwavable. And
Correct.
everything doesn't taste good microwave. So
Right.
don't be afraid of the hard work. One thing I've realized, Rafael, is when you do what you love, it's not work.
That's true. That's true.
It's not work. I mean, it's something you can just hold on to and just do it all day. It's something that you can do and not even really charge anybody for. It's just because you love doing it.
Yeah.
And I remember working in post-secondary education, and I would talk to people about their career path. And I said, if it's something that you would do and you wouldn't mind doing it, if it was free, you would still do it with the same integrity, with the same vigor, with the same momentum, that is your career path. And so when you do what you love, let's see what Josh says, has one of the most positive attitudes. He does. And in the short period of time, Josh, that I have known Rafael, I have to concur that he does. And he made our project really, really a lot of fun. There's Kevin out there too, your other buddy. Hard work fact. That's true. That's true. And so guys, just hold true to what Rafael said. I will put my stamp on approval with everything Rafael said today, with the exception of one thing.
What is it? What is it?
And that's that raw liver.
I knew you.
Now, unless something changes over here in these streets, I cannot go there with him. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see, y'all.
That's the real superfood.
We might eat this together on air one night. Ladies' room. You have yours, I have mine. Mine will be significantly smaller, but you'll have yours and I have mine, and we'll see. But this is after you get these results. Now you get some amazing results, I may have to dive on into some raw liver, so we'll see.
Okay, good. I'll hold you to it.
All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a great night. Be sure to share this live stream because it was so impactful, learning the things about production and videography, and learning Rafael's life, the things that God has blessed him with, and be able to share this with your network of friends, because you never know who's interested in being in this field. And then also we were able to wrap up, hey, living healthy, trying things that will be able to be suitable to your body, and being able to take control over your body and start telling our bodies what to do, as opposed to our bodies telling us what to do. So Rafael, you have shared some amazing stuff for us. You dropped some gems, as you said off air earlier, and we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. And guys, thank you for always supporting the Ladies Room Talk Show. We love you, and we'll see you back here next week inside the Ladies Room. Good night.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.